While we're talking about public transport, the rail sector, commuter rail in Cape Town, slowly but surely getting back on its feet. The Central Line. It's not only central in its location, but it's also central to Prasa's plans to get commuter rail back on track in this province. The rail agency, they're taking a step closer, but they've introduced the new blue and white modern electrical multiple units, the EMUs, also called the People's Train. Many people call it, on the Central Line, along with an extension of that service from Nyanga to Mandalay Station. Raymond Maseko, really appreciate your time, Prasa Regional Manager. Slow but surely, we're getting commuter rail back on track in terms of the infrastructure. Are we seeing commuters coming back to our trains in Cape Town? Raymond, good morning.
Good morning, Lester, and good morning to your listeners as well. We are indeed seeing a marked turnaround in terms of the infrastructure being returned, but more than anything else, Lester, we are seeing commuters that are returning. Just to indicate in terms of the numbers, last year we transported a total of 13 million passengers. In the first 3 months of this particular financial year, we are already at 5 million. So it just indicates the sheer confidence that people have in the returning of the service. So April, May, June, we are 3 months into our new financial year with 5 million passengers already transported.
It's more than just clearing lines, getting informal settlements off those railway corridors that we had seen mushrooming, particularly over the COVID lockdown period, but it's also rebuilding the infrastructure. Many train stations on that Central Line essentially just walked away with. That was the extent of the vandalizing. Also re-signalling. You need to do that to reset the central corridor, and that's also continuing, I understand.
No, absolutely, Lester. It is just a mammoth task. Exactly what you are saying. Some of the infrastructure was walked away with, from even the rails themselves, and some of the concrete work that we have that we call sleepers, all of those were taken. When it comes to stations, it was complete devastation. That's why you will currently see that we have contractors in each and every station on the Central Line, barring Langa, because that one we have completed. Of the 21 stations that we have there, we have about 11 contractors that are continuing to work at the station level to recover that. The idea, or maybe the long-term goal from Prasa is this. As we are recovering the service, we also started infusing our modernization program in there to say, let us start utilizing the new trains. So people, when they see the trains, they are not really going to experience the old yellow sets. We want them to experience the EMUs. But we also want them to experience the new signaling. This coming weekend, Lester, we are commissioning the signaling from Cape Town all the way to Pontieva. Now, in October, we want to take this all the way to Nyanga, and in December, we want to have reached Philippi. So these are our plans that we are currently at work delivering. It is not an easy task, and unfortunately, some of the tasks have to be sequential. You have to get the rails, you have to get the power pack, you have to get the stations, then you get the signaling. Because the signaling requires a coordination of all the other aspects, so you have to do it last. But we are getting there steady but surely.
Let's talk about the cost for the commuter. It is, and I've used the Southern Line several occasions. But when we talk about how do we convince people, ditch the cars, ditch traffic, and come and use a train, particularly on that Central Line? How do you incentivize, besides telling people, it is a more convenient mode of transport? Is there a plan to say, let's subsidize a ticket, let's offer you a discount on, say, a monthly ticket so that you can see what it's like? Then when you are convinced, come and use a Central Line on a permanent basis. Is that part of the marketing of how do we get people to ditch cars, ditch traffic, and start using trains again?
No, absolutely, Lester. We've been hard at work just ensuring that the product that we are running is fit for purpose. As starters in the, let's say, pre-COVID eras, we used to run our on-time performance at about 70%. We are currently running an on-time performance of about 90% and 90 plus. We've been doing this since November of last year. So the first port of call is when we say a train is arriving at a particular time, we need to get the train there. What we have then done on the southern suburbs and throughout the network as well is to try and ensure that our trains are running at a predictable frequency. On the southern suburb now in the morning from 5 o'clock until 9 o'clock, you will see a train every 20 minutes. So when you stand at the station, there'll be a train every 20 minutes. We are trying to close this gap to a train every 10 minutes. That is our ultimate goal, that wherever you are on the network in the Western Cape, you should see a train every 10 minutes from 5 o'clock until 9 o'clock. That would be our peak, and a train every 30 minutes thereafter. We are also running...
Go ahead, Raymond.
Yes?
No, go ahead. You are running?
We are also running a discounted rates, exactly what you are saying. We are encouraging people, especially from 9 to about 4 o'clock, to say you will be paying half the rate from, let's say, Fish Hoek to Cape Town. You will pay R8.50, but we now charge R4.50 between 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock in the afternoon. This is what we are trying to do, to say people are welcome to come and test these trains, test the new trains that we have, and also test the punctuality. Even during the day, we still say, come at half the price, come and test us and see if we will not be able to take you from home to work or from home to educational institutions without any trouble. Come and experience the service for yourself. Then, from then onwards, make up your mind. Because it's always been the old of Prasa. You know, when you know the old Prasa, the old trains, we are a completely different unit. And all we are asking is people come and test us, and then they can give feedback on what they have experienced.
Listener asks, what about the Captain's Clip station? It's one of the very last stations on that central line. When does Prasa expect for our trains to reach Mitchell's Plain, Chris Hani station in Kiewit, to try and get people that live very, very far out of the city, to get them to where they need to be? What's the plan?
Absolutely. We are pushing for the end of this calendar year to have reached Captain's Clip, which there's only 3 stations left, Lester, on the Captain's Clip line. Lentegeur, Mitchell's Plain, Captain's. On the Krizani side, there's only 4 stations left. Is Nonkubela, Kiewit, Uyasa, and Krizani. We are pushing towards these particular endpoints. Unfortunately, at the moment, Lester, the amount of rain that we are having are quite significant. And because we are working on the formation, we are working on the ground level in terms of rebuilding in that area. You can't work fast when it is raining because you just cause a dam. So that's why it is taking us a bit longer. But that is only a matter of engineering, Lester. By our purpose and our intent is that by the end of December of this year, we should have reached both stations. Those that are working or those are living in Captain's Clip, they can attest. There is a contractor working at Captain's Clip to rebuild the station. There's a contractor at Mitchell's Plain to rebuild the station, and there's a contractor at Lentegeur. Similarly, on the Kiewit side or the Krizani side, contractors there that are working. So we are hard at work pushing for this December of this year.
Raymond Maseko, Prasa Regional Manager.